Welcome back, guys. We're here on the Fourth Quarter Finish podcast, and today I am blessed to announce that we are joined by Coach Harris Hawkins of the University of the Cumberlands, and he's a great friend of mine, a pretty good fisherman. We'll talk about that later, I'm for sure, but he's a great guy, and I wanted to talk a little bit about basketball this time. Obviously, basketball's got four quarters in the NBA, so I figured it's relevant, and I wanted to give Harris a chance to come on here and talk a little bit about his journey, about what it took to get to where he's at currently in his sports career, in his sports life, and really just have fun today. So I'll give you the floor now, Harris, to kind of introduce yourself. But great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, great to be on. Appreciate you having me on, Case. Appreciate the kind words. I'm also just looking to have fun and chop it up and talk some ball and some fishing. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, it's always great to talk some ball and fishing. There's nothing wrong with that. So I guess we'll start off kind of, obviously how I met you. We worked together, at a paint store that I probably shouldn't say for copyright reasons, but yeah, it was kind of one of those funny things where you just meet a guy and it's chemistry right off the bat. But I wanted to get your take a little bit on what led you to Grand Rapids. Obviously, you're a basketball player when you were young, but talk a little bit about what led you to being a basketball player at such a young age and then coming to Grand Rapids.
Sure, sure. Good question. Yeah, I'm originally from Lexington, Kentucky. Uh, Born and raised, went to high school here, all that. So yeah, to end up in Western Michigan, 6-7 hour drive from home is got that question a lot. Went to Hope College to play basketball for 4 years, and then great experience there. And then yeah, obviously internship with Casey at the paint store, get to know him. So and then obviously worked there a year after graduation. So cool city, but definitely glad to be back in the Bluegrass State. But yeah, a lot of good people up that way, and nothing good things to say about Grand Rapids and Holland.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so growing up, what position did you play growing up in Kentucky? Obviously, you got the U of UK. I mean, you talk about it all the time to me, and I can't help but kind of get a sour taste in my mouth because I'm a state fan. But what position did you grow up wanting to play?
Yeah, man, go Big Blue, diehard UK fan, basketball and football. Growing up, basketball is king in Lexington, man. Everyone looks up to Kentucky players. There's no pro teams in Kentucky, so everyone watches Kentucky sports. So, man, yeah, it's pretty cool growing up in an environment like that in the city of Lexington playing basketball. That's your main sport, so that's kind of where I got the love of the game. Was just the environment of Lexington and just how everyone looked at basketball and basketball players, and just a lot of role models
Right.
that led me to that path. But yeah, to answer your question, I was always taller, so I grew up playing the forward, the 4, the 5. In high school, I was the tallest one on my team at 6'3", so I played at the post a little bit. So that's what I played growing up, and then as I got older, I knew how to develop guard skills to be able to shoot and dribble and be versatile. But yeah, I was definitely battling in the post for most of my younger years.
Okay, so you were able to get down in the low post and battle with some of the bigs. That's a battle down
Yeah,
there. What's
yeah,
that like?
yeah, man. I remember in high school some of my matchups, 4 or 5 inches taller than me, 30 pounds on me. So definitely got to be creative. Not back down, kind of play fearless. But it also is an advantage for you if you're an undersized, quicker post, because they have to guard you on the other end. So if you can hold your own, then you'll be all right, really. And it actually, I grew to appreciate those mismatches, and yeah, just like anything, you just learn when you're guarding
Right.
a bigger post to just do your work early, not let them catch so deep, and then just battle, man.
Right. And so something I always had a question on with center play, forward play, that kind of low post stuff is, how important is speed in that low post area? I know some people say speed kills, but basketball's a little bit different of a game. So I wanted to get your take on that.
Sure, man. Sure. So at our school we play very fast. We average 95 points a game right now. We press, we play very fast. So we kind of specialize in recruiting undersized bigs that can run the floor, that can rim run. So in that aspect, speed is important, athleticism is important, right? But once you start getting in the half court, and we're running our half court offense, we utilize kind of we'll throw it into the post, and then once it's in the post and it's in that 6 to 8 foot range of that rim, man, it's not a lot of speed. It's more strength and grit, and what dog is going to win that fight? Either the offensive player putting it in the rim or the defensive player getting a stop. So
Right.
you
Okay.
know, I'd say when it comes to post play itself, speed isn't unless you're facing up. But if it's in the post, man, it's about strength and what kind of dog you got inside you.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So kind of the Tom Izzo mentality, a little bit of like going to war. He used to do
Sure.
those drills going to war. He would put the centers and forwards in football pads, and this is his greatest drill he came up with. But he would put them in football pads and make them bang down in the post, and really that's kind of my thought of what centers do. But uh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's. I mean, if you're talking about the center position, yeah, it's it's good to be quick, and you got a guard. In this day and age of basketball, a lot of people are switching 1 through 5 on defense, right? So, if you have a center that can guard the point guard, that just makes your defense that much more hard to play against if you can switch 1 through 5. Um, but yeah, once it comes to post play, and as much as it is a game of 5 man spacing the floor taking threes, if you have a 5 man that can score that ball at a 60-70% range when you throw it in that post, man, you're going to want to go to that. So I
right.
would say post is definitely a big thing still, and we want to recruit, a versatile. I think that's the word I think of in recruiting when I'm thinking of a post player is versatile.
Versatile, right? Kind of a Swiss Army knife is what we always
Sure.
called it. Is just kind of does a little bit of everything. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to get back a little bit to talking about Hope College, right? So you came out of Kentucky, you come up to Hope College, you're playing basketball. What led you exactly to choose Hope for your basketball career?
Yeah, man. Good question. Hope was not on my radar growing up. Coming from Central Kentucky, I had no idea what Hope was until I was 18 years old. So, I trace it back to going to Henry Clay High School, really good basketball program in Lexington, and being around older guys and having mentors. And my role models were getting recruited and going to play college basketball, and that's when I really started to have that as a goal of like, these dudes are going to play college basketball. That's really something I think I want to do and pursue that. So, I finally got serious about that, my senior year of high school, and got on an AAU team my senior year and started getting recruiting a little bit. It hurt because I played baseball and then I didn't
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to play AAU and get recruited. So I just played 1 year of AAU because I love baseball so much. But
Mm-hmm.
once I started doing that, I think it was a tournament in Chicago. Hope saw me play at. So they
Okay.
started recruiting me, and I kind of got on the radar. Went on a visit, kept in the back of my mind, and then obviously some schools around Kentucky and stuff were reaching out, and some other places. But Hope just I went and visited, and I knew I wasn't quite D1 guy, but I wanted go to a school that was going to feel like that. Hope with the facilities and how much that community cares about basketball and
Mm-hmm.
just the whole. It wasn't just a basketball decision, man. It wasn't everything. Just a lifestyle decision, being close to family, academics, financials, all that. So
Right. Right. And
Hope
that's
just made sense.
yeah. Yeah, and that's all big things that I we're always trying to figure out what goes into a recruit's mind, right? And hearing it from a person that has been through the recruiting process is a great way to look into things. There's a lot more that goes into it than just, oh, I want to play for this school. There's a lot more that goes into it. So hearing you talk about that, the recruiting process, what was that like for you? Getting to talk to coaches, was there private meetings
Sure.
type of thing? Whatever insight you can give us.
I mean, yeah, my small college, recruiting process looks a lot different, than the guys getting recruited to Michigan State. So I wasn't good enough to have that, what people think of the cars and the McDonald's bag with cash in it. So it wasn't that, but it was cool for sure, man. Being able to go on college visits and go visit cool places with my family, that was dope. And then, just it's hard to sort through, of what because obviously, um, a coach is going to paint everything in it. A college coach is going to paint everything in a positive light. So,
Right.
Can be hard to sort through. So it's just good to put good mentors in your life and then help you navigate decisions when you're in high school for sure. But no, it was a cool process, man. Definitely got some cool trips, some dinners out of it. But other than that, it wasn't too flashy. And I feel like I made the right choice. So it was it went well.
And I think, I'm obviously glad that you came up to Michigan because I got to meet you.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask you though is if you had any advice for younger players or even a younger version of yourself, what would you give them for advice in the recruiting process?
In the recruiting process. So yeah, I've been on both sides of it now since I went through it as a player and now as a coach. I'm talking to kids a lot as part of my day-to-day job. So I always tell kids, man, like don't get so caught up in the level like D1, D2, all this. I think social media skews a lot of people's perception of what college basketball should be. So I tell them to just go where you're wanted and loved, go where you feel most wanted by the coach. Don't go for the brands. Go where you feel loved, and you're gonna grow not only as an athlete but as a man and as a person. Because college is a lot of growth years, so you want to surround yourself with good people and good coaches. So that's always my biggest advice. It's all basketball at the end of the day, right? No matter what school you're at, it's all basketball, and you're reading the same textbooks, So
right at the end of the day, it's all ball, right?
It's all ball. Others are getting paid significant amount more money than some other athletes to do it. But yeah, at the end of the day, the day-to-day grind is about the same everywhere.
Right. Exactly. So leading into that, right, obviously you've talked a little bit about it, but you're a coach now at the University of the Cumberlands. How has that transition been from, player to now coach? What does that look like?
Sure, man. Sure. I think it's easier for me that I've been around so many really good coaches in my playing career, right? From Henry Clay to Hope to some others, just like good, not only good coaches, but mentors that kind of shaped me into the man I am. So that definitely made me, so that's who I look up to, right? For my coaches. So I want to be someone that my players look up to, and give them opportunities. So I would say that first of all, but it's a cool transition, man. You see things a lot differently. I think you see how important culture is and the kind of people you bring into a program, right? That you don't really see as a player. You see how important details are, because so many games we talk about, I think we have, out of the 4 losses we have, 3 of them were 1 possession games. So we're 9-4. And 3 of those losses, we lost by 1 possession, right? So we could be 12-1 if it comes down to 3 possessions, right? So I think the details of like, okay, if we would have got one stop there and really been locked in on defense, or if we wouldn't have missed that box out assignment, as a coach, you really start to see how important details are.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Details are everything in every sport.
Yeah.
In basketball, I feel like it's even more so though, because, that one slight detail you forget is the difference between a 3, a 2, a foul. There's so much that goes into the small details of your foot placement, all that, but along with that, I just wanted to tell you, I'm so proud of you, Hare, doing what you've wanted to do. And I'm happy to see you're succeeding, obviously. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you. I got one last coach question for you, and then we can have some fun.
Okay.
So, Coach Harris, would you declare yourself more of a strategist or a motivator?
That's a great question. I think I'm very young in my coaching career, right? I think it's hard to really say. I would say my associate head coach, Coach Bush, that I work with right now, he is definitely both, but definitely more of a motivator, where he gets everything out of guys and pushes guys and connects and is a connector and a motivator. So that's great to learn from. But I said my head coach, Coach Daniel, he's much of a strategist, like I would say like a war general, where like he's going to have, our offense is going to be crisp, and he's going to have a great scout, and he's going to know what he wants out of a recruit, like very, very strategized, also a motivator in his own respect. But, just aligning myself with both of those guys early in my career, I'm very, very grateful for. So
Right. Getting
we'll
to learn a
see.
little bit of both.
Yeah, I think it takes both of those two things to be successful. But yeah, we'll see, man. I'll follow up. I'll follow up with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, and I'm super excited to see the journey, man. Obviously, it's incredible what you're doing, and who knows where we might be in the next 10 years. Maybe I'm talking to the next, University of Kentucky coach. I mean, we never know.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
always dream.
yeah.
But so now to get on the back half of the segment, we can have some fun here. So obviously college basketball season's in full swing right now, right? And I've got to say that, Michigan State, not to toot the own horn, but Michigan State's looking pretty solid so far. I think this is the most depth heavy state team I've seen between the guards, the front court and the back court. I feel like they're very well balanced. Do you have any takes if you've seen any Michigan State ball or anything?
I'm not going to pretend I know Michigan State ball. I do enjoy. I like them. I like Coach Izzo. I watch them when I can. Probably my third favorite team.
We'll take it.
I watched them a little. I think I watched them a little bit in Maui, and they play like a classic Izzo team, man. Right? Their bigs are strong. They're fundamental. Set hard screens. They play good defense. Right? They're gonna be dangerous in March, just like any Michigan State team. They have dynamic guards. Yeah, man. If your team is based on toughness and defense, it'll take you a long way. So,
that's always a
I
great
liked
Izzo
what I
team.
saw. I'm not gonna. I haven't watched enough ball to really, uh, paint a big picture.
Sure.
But I'll. They look good. They look like a solid team, man. They did.
That's awesome. So then let me ask you this question: college basketball, when you're not coaching, who have you been watching? I think I know the answer, but
me and Coach Bush were talking about this in the office the other day, man. It wouldn't be what you think. I'm not really watching Duke, Kansas every night. I'm watching Columbia State versus Tallahassee Community College JUCO games. Recruiting, watching a lot of junior college games. Right, I'm watching Vincennes play John A. Logan. I'm watching maybe a high school game. Tuesday, Friday night. So. I'm not watching a ton of Division I games. Maybe I'm watching one of our opponents, or I'm watching us, to make us better. So
that
it's
makes sense.
I mean, I'll probably watch a third of the Kentucky games this season, but just random.
Yep, just random. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And that's keeping your priorities straight, though. That's what's going to take you far, is keeping your priorities straight. There's going to be a lot of fun to come, and that's really truly great.
And I really shouldn't even drop those junior college names, because there's some real players on those teams. So
right,
I should have kept that quiet.
Right, you're like,
I should have kept that quiet.
Keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we can work around that.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
But so last thing I kind of wanted to we'll wrap up with, is obviously you're my fishing partner. So, this year I think, we're both competitors. I think, we had a really strong showing last year, but what's your take on our future for this year?
Are you talking about 2025? What am I looking?
Yeah, 2025 fishing partner.
Sure.
Team fourth quarter.
I would say last year was really our first full time.
Yeah.
We did 8 to 10 tournaments all over West Michigan. Had a blast. Didn't win first place in any. Hell, didn't win second or third place in any. But we had fun. Had a couple nice bags. Yeah, man, just a nice way to stay competitive fishing, and being outside. So I enjoyed it, but I think in 2025 you can expect a lot of rages. A lot of rages for me after lost fish. I think you can expect, us to both fish our ass off.
Absolutely.
Other than that, you can definitely expect some boat problems and some mishaps. Other than that, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, that brings up the best story of last year, which was, me taking your brother out and my boat almost sinking on the way back in on the Grand. That was a hell of a story to even talk about, but it was a great one. But we're not going to have that happen next year.
Yeah, that flat tire on the side of the highway on the Muskegon Lake, that was dicey.
Yep, that was a good one.
I feel like I might have had with my boat. I might have had something dicey happen too, but yeah, that's besides the point. But yeah,
All in good fun,
nothing but
right?
good vibes.
All in
Yeah,
good
really
fun.
good fun. Wear your life jacket out there.
Yep. Yep. And I've got one prediction, and that is there's gonna be at least one broken rod by the end of next year. I just
Oh, it
feel it.
already happened. Remember, it
That yeah.
happened in the Grand River when I was trying to get it unsnagged, and it's
Yep, I do remember that. That's right. It broke right in half. So
hey,
that was fun.
comes with the territory, man. If you're not fishing in the heavy brush, if you're not getting snagged, you're not fishing in the right spot, probably.
That's that Kentucky mentality down there, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
I can't do it. But well,
yeah.
Harris, obviously, you're a busy man, so I know that you've got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of recruiting to do, obviously. So I'll end it there. Is there any shout outs or anything you kind of want to give to the viewers or to anybody that's watching, family? Feel free to do so
No,
now.
shout out to Casey, man. Shout out to fourth quarter finish, doing big things out here. So
We're
proud of you,
trying,
bro.
man.
Keep going, and we do. If anyone wants to watch, we play at Northern Kentucky University, December 11th tomorrow at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. So if you want
Perfect.
to see what some good NAIA basketball looks like against a good D1 team, we'll take it. We'll take the support. So.
And what I'll do for you is I'll actually grab that link from you and I'll put it in the comments. So for you
Sweet.
guys watching, if you want to go support the University of Cumberland's basketball team, feel free to go watch. So we'll get that out for you. And really thank you guys for watching today. Thank you to Harris for coming on and talking a little bit about his life journey and where it's led him. And obviously I'm super excited for what he's accomplished and what he's going to accomplish. So thank you, Harris, and thank you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. We got some big podcasts coming up, so stay tuned.